Of retailers in the quest of personalization. There are a lot of things that they need to be doing within the organization, obviously, but starting from the customer or the consumer side, they are saying, here's a product that's 80% built for you. As an example, in a DIY space, here's a particular bed, 80% built. You can now update or change the fabric color, or in a wardrobes or a box, you can change the knob colors or some sort of a setup and so on. 80% is built in, the remaining 20% can be iterated. That's one sort of use case where they're taking the design, expose that to a customer so they can update that. The second one is more internal focused, where I can now, and this is not just picking up or flicking the images from the internet and just copying or plagiarizing it. It's looking at the fundamentals of this particular design, and the system is coming up with different options, different colors, based on the social media trends, based on what you're seeing. So these are some of the examples that I just wanted to throw it out there in terms of the use cases. The other one is the customer care. A lot of use cases that we are seeing is in the customer care sort of context, where I'm getting calls, I'm either responding to it or I'm summarizing those calls. So I'm looking at the most common calls that people are making for a particular product, so I can constantly better this product. The other use case, I do not have a slide on that, but is on training, internal training. If you look at the typical training setup now, most of it is just in case sort of training, where I'm trained on every context just in case I need it. And as an example, I used to work in store back in the days. I was trained on how to stack the bananas in a particular way in a store, at Coles or Woolies or wherever. And that is just in case you need to know. Or how do you deal with an unruly customer who walks in, who abuses you? What do you do? What do you say? All of this is just in case training. You're trained just in case you need to be, you need to use it. But when that happens, 20 months later, you have completely forgotten about it, and you run back to your supervisor to say, hey, what do I do? This is happening. But now there is a subtle shift to a just in case sort of training, just in time sort of training, where when you need it, you can start accessing this information through a earpiece like what I've got now, where I can say, hey, this customer is asking this, what do I do? It's not going to a person somewhere, but it's a system that understands the context and it responds back real time to say, here's how you respond. So there is that shift, and imagine the productivity gain in that, because I don't have to sit through 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks training and then come back to a shop floor and then go through an on-job training before I'm productive. But now I can try and shorten that, but at the same time provide the best customer service.